Hello there, this is AM, the Ocarina Player, and welcome to the second installment of Q&A, 2 out of 2.
There's also Pretty Kitty 13, I voice as Kurgoon and Tough, and there's also...
Koopa Media 64. I voice DDD!
Yes, you do. Very well, actually.
And I think you're forgetting the most important member of the team. That would be Jake the Voice, aka Jake Parr. But
he's also the main voice of Jake at the Cyberden on Siren FM.
How could I forget, Denham? Thank you very much. I think many people should know that.
Well, I thought you wouldn't mention it, so I thought I'd just tell people what you do.
Well, I think I should remind everyone on a constant 2-minute basis. You never know.
I see. So shall we begin the questions then?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Anyways, question number 1. Daniel Palencia. Hey, do you have any tips on making an abridged series and steps? Thank you so much if you answer this.
You're welcome very much. We will do our best.
Okay, suggestion number 1. Know your source material.
Yes.
Study other abridged series, study the comedians of old, but don't go copying people, okay?
If you want to make a good abridged series, you have to get inside what you're abridging. You have to understand what you're making fun of.
You really have to know the ins and outs of the TV show that you're planning on wrecking. Because for Kirby Abridged, for example, we watched that show to death. So a lot of the jokes that are in the show, it's like they're not funny to us anymore, even though they still are. So we're sort of desensitized to that in a sense. So we know what to wreck, what to keep,
and how to wreck it.
Yes, and how to wreck it. So if you're determined to make an abridged series, really, really study the show that you are making your victim.
Anyway.
Staying up late with your friends works too.
Oh yes, absolutely, and a little bit of booze doesn't hurt either.
What about you guys? What was your input for how to make an abridged series?
I forgot that.
Very good question. Very good point, very good point. I think, in my personal opinion, if you're going to make an abridged series, when you're writing the script, or when you've done writing the script, polish it, keep polishing it, send it to multiple people, get as much feedback as possible, and just double check with other people. Say, just be blunt, is this funny? Is this making you laugh? If it's not, if in doubt, chuck it, put something else in. I recommend, in my personal opinion, if you're going to be chucking in, let's say, pop culture references, don't make them too obscure, just, also, no meme. Well, I wouldn't say no memes, but don't over-rely on memes.
Exactly.
Because I've seen...
I'd essentially just say know your audience, to be honest with you.
That too, but don't rely too much on memes. I mean, regurgitating cool story bro for a good 10 minutes an episode is not the best way to get a good giggle.
Well, if you're making a good show, I'd just feel like know your audience and just play to what you would want to see, really.
Fair enough, but still wouldn't recommend it myself, but, you know.
Yeah, second question is by Kerrigan Martin. Question number 1 is, what or who got you the idea of making Tiff, Fumu, in Kirby Abridged, a crazy voodoo witch girl?
That was unanimous. We all wanted to do it.
It's because she's such a perfect little miss, perfect goody. How could there not be some psychopathic ulterior motive behind that? It's just too easy. The shot was left way wide open for that, so we took it, Lynn. Yes.
What is the opinion of Jake and his
and his dancing monkey?
Yes, and his dancing monkey.
We love dancing monkeys as much as we love Kirby Abridged, of course, and Kirby right back after you. In fact, I named this monkey right here Tiff as well. And if you want to check out my wonderful monkey, hello there. Okay, calm down. Get back in the corner! If you want to check him out, then be sure to check out Jake on the Cyberden for your weekly dose of tech and games. We will be having Tiff the Monkey right there. But anyway, for question 1, that's precisely why Tiff is my favourite character in Kirby Abridged, actually. The fact that she's just so nonchalantly off-the-wall, bat-doo-doo insane, really. Always makes me laugh. She would make a good CEO at, say, a company like Coca-Cola. She's just the right amount of evil to get a job done.
The question 2 from the same person is, what's your thoughts of the original Japanese anime by Sakurai and Iwata? We've never really watched the original Japanese show. That's our answer. What is the opinion of Jake and Denham, then?
I can't say I've ever watched the original Japanese anime, to be honest.
I personally prefer just dubs because I can understand them better, with a few exceptions when it comes to anime. But again, with the Kirby, the original Japanese Kirby anime, yeah, I haven't really watched too much of it, and I have noticed that there are times where I don't know how they got away with some of these jokes in a kids show. I mean, some of it is bit disturbing. I'm not going to go into details about it, but yeah, I haven't really checked it out myself, and neither has Denim, so don't kill us, please.
There was actually one thing that I noticed watching the Japanese anime of Kirby that I really thought was ironic how they improved on it in the 4Kids dub is with Meta Knight. With Meta Knight, whenever he shows up in the Japanese anime, you still get that guitar sound.
A little dun 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 dun.
Oh, it sounded horrible because
It's so annoying.
it was like staccato almost. In the 4Kids, it was actually meant to sound a little more awesome.
A little more cool.
Like almost mysterious.
Sound like Zorro, like,
Yeah,
Yes.
but in the Japanese anime, it was dun 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 dun, like he's a matador or something. And it's
Yes.
Yes.
Next person, Gene Wynn asks, have you considered abridging F-Zero GP Legend?
No.
No. Just
No.
maybe! I mean, no! I think Denim here does an excellent Captain Falcon impression.
Do I?
Yes, you do. Do it, Denim.
Okay. You put me on the spot here, man.
Go on, give it a shot.
Well,
Go
why
on.
would you do this to me?
Shut
We're all
up, do it.
friends.
Can you say Falcon
Just say
Punch?
Falcon. Falcon Punch! Damn it! I know next to nothing about F-Zero GP Legends myself, so you know, I'm just gonna have to go for the default answer. No.
Next question, let's see. Monedo Kirby, will you be making more food-themed episodes?
Many food themes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, if there's one thing I like, if there are two things I like food and I like episodes. So when you combine the two together, I think.
I also like themes.
And I like. How could I forget themes? I mean,
Themes are amazing for an episode.
you're entering a big Gengu there, pal.
Yeah! You should be ashamed of yourself.
I
man.
am.
You should be really ashamed.
Anyways,
Who cares?
Destiny, Willow Leaf, and Dylan Sipabon,
Sipabone.
for Koopa and Kitty specifically,
I thank you.
what is the next series that you'll abridge when Kirby's done? Well, if we don't all have lives by then maybe Hamtaro.
Yes.
We'll consider it.
I'll take a carrot tip if you're handing them out.
If you want to be as fit as I am, then you gotta work on shaping up.
We are so totally gonna wreck that show.
The fun part would be trying to find our wonderful British friends some voices on that. I was thinking that
Jake needs to be Dexter, I think,
Yes.
and make Denim Howdy.
The only drawback is I don't think they've ever seen Hamtaro. Have you?
I've never seen Hamtaro.
Unfortunately, no. It's
It stings.
the writing is a freaking scream. You should definitely check it out.
All right,
Okay, next question. For anyone who wants to answer, have you ever had a dream that you were a character that you voice acted, and if so, what happened in that dream?
Say what?
That's never happened to me,
Nope.
so I have no comment.
funny you should mention that. Yeah. I did dream once that I was actually Sammy the bartender. I was back in the old country. For those who don't know, for younger listeners, that's basically Iraq. So I was back there as Samo, and I was strolling around trying to pick fights with people, and then I discovered it was not a dream, it was actually me in real life just picking fights with random people on the street. And on that day, I became public enemy #1 in Ireland. So, fun fact, I can't go there anymore because they told me I'm not allowed. You're probably thinking, Jake, you're talking rubbish. Well, let me just say two things. One, shut up. And number two, I'm British, I can't lie, so up to you.
I can't say that I've ever had a dream that I've
Seems
been
legit.
a character, but I have had a horrible nightmare that I was being chased by Bookham. That was quite
Get back here, you!
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I was in that dream too. I was chasing you with a big stick. We have this, like, connection. We have, like, a psychological connection. We dream the same dreams. It's, quite interesting.
Okay, next question. Vacanti Brothers Studios asks, would you ever redub any of your favorite Kirby Right Back At Ya episodes? And also, would you ever redub abridged episodes 1 to 5?
They won't let us redub any of the Kirby Right Back At Ya episodes, specifically the 2 lost episodes of Shell Shocked and Chow Challenge.
Well, for 2 reasons. One,
He's a big fat meanie.
no, that's not one of the reasons. One of the main reasons is we don't have access to their music, so it's pretty much impossible to replicate the style and hilarity of 4Kids' work. Not only that, but how can we ever equal the cheese that 4Kids could accomplish. We can't touch them in that regard.
Third of all, Koopa left a very valid explanation on the first volume of Kirby Questions and Answers. Go check it out.
How about Jake and Denim voice their thoughts on...
Yes.
We get cheese, right?
You just said cheese now, that's all he's talking about.
And I like cheese.
I get it, Denim. You like cheese. Stop reminding me. Speaking of reminders, you know what's better than cheese? Listening to the Cyber Den every Wednesday, 10 till 12 on Siren FM.
For your weekly dose of checking
Denim, come
games.
back. Denim, come back! He's, technical difficulties here. Denim has left and, he has died. So...
Stop being so mean to him.
He could just get another Denim. There's a million of them in Britain.
Yeah, just go down the hall of the vending machine.
voicing over the original episodes, I really don't see the point in doing it, to be honest. I mean, I say leave them be,
Most people ask us this because of Shell Shocked and Chow Challenge. They're the two 4Kids episodes that seem to apparently be permanently lost.
Okay, let's skip over to the next question.
Yes.
Would we ever redo the first 5 abridged episodes?
Probably not, mostly in regards to, well, it's a lot of work for not a whole lot of game. But yeah, they're already done, even if they're kind of terrible quality. Do our guests on the other side of the ocean have any comments on that?
Good question. Personally, I wouldn't mind redubbing some old... Well, for one thing, I wasn't even in episode 1 to 5, but if I was brought in and, could do some lines for the characters again, maybe add a few extra jokes here and there, maybe you could say like a special edition of the first season, or whatever you want to call it, but I'd personally be absolutely fine with it myself. I'd be up for it.
Yeah, I'd be up for it too.
Yeah.
I came in episode 21.
Yeah, so like if we went over the first
something like that.
episodes.
Maybe we'll do that later.
Much later.
You could just imagine in episode 5 of Silent Hill, remember, I'm adding substance to this plot.
I'm adding substance to this plot.
as Bookham.
Yeah, we killed Jake as Bookham.
Yes.
Or Jake says, forget the donuts, that looks like what you find at the bottom of the chicken coop. I would love to hear Jake say that in episode 1. Just for the sake of how quirky it'd be. So
That looks like what you'd find at the bottom of a chicken coop.
Wow.
we got it.
Well,
Maybe. The answer is maybe.
Okay,
maybe.
there's incentive there. Maybe later we'll do that. Anyways.
Even just to hear Jake sound like an idiot.
Yeah, okay, next question. Ethan the Half-Blaze says, what is the one episode you will not make an abridged video of?
Chow Challenge.
And Shell Shocked, I guess. We're not going to do those.
Yeah.
Now, as far as episodes that are available in the English dub, well, we haven't really found any that aren't very
so
good.
horrendously terrible, there's nothing worth abridging in them.
Yeah, so far we haven't really found anything like that, so everything's fair game so far. Maybe like the episodes 1 and 9.
One
there.
9.
Yeah, maybe in there's an episode that's too terrible.
Yeah, like episode 2.
Oh gosh, that was boring.
Episode 2 is horribly boring. Maybe we'll... You know what? Even 3 is a terrible episode, even though it has Meta Knight. That would be an impressive feat. That would be an impressive feat to take episode 3,
Episodes that are so horrendously, mind-crushingly boring.
No, Eldrick can ham it up, no problem.
No. The problem is even with Meta Knight in the episode, he's battling Kirby and everything. Not even Meta Knight can save that terrible episode.
That's a good question. Episode 3. Again, that was pretty pants episode, I'm going to have to admit that. But in terms of episodes I dare not voice over, it's probably going to have to be episode 22.7. It was a lost episode, and it was never released, but I managed to get a glimpse of it, Nintendo, and it was an episode where Kirby has to fight off the rise of communism in Dreamland. I don't know who wrote it. I think it's like someone called Kim Jong something, but that was a terrible episode. The writing and the voice acting.
I think
who is this glorious leader fella? But I don't know.
Yeah.
Did it involve a character getting eaten?
Yeah, that was the saddest part of that episode, is that eventually the food became so scarce that the townspeople rose up, and because of the communism, there was such a hate on the local cops that they actually killed and ate Bookham to sustain their lives.
Yep.
Precisely. after seeing that scene, I was just shell shocked. I thought,
we gotta make this an episode now.
Oh, damn it!
Yep.
A creepy pasta that'll actually be real.
Here you guys thought Dias for Delicious was going to be the most absurd, ridiculous episode to do. Nope, we're gonna do one even better.
22.7.
We're gonna
Coming soon.
Yeah, episode 22.7. We're gonna do...
What was the question again? I
Is
was
there an
lost with
episode
James
you would
Rathbone.
refuse to work with us on?
I don't think I have an episode that I'd refuse to. Just give it lines. I don't care what I say.
it's gotta be episode 22.7. I mean, weren't you insulted
Yeah,
when you
because
saw
they
the
raided the toy
Chinese
shop
sheep
at
booking with his really bad
Gango's.
accent?
No, I was very on board for that one.
Really?
Yeah.
You liked how Chief Booker was something like, I am Chief Booker, and I bring honor for my family.
You know, I was a little skeptical, but then there was the
Maybe-
clue scene,
maybe
so I
we'll
would
make a
really just
quickie.
walk you back.
I think we just found out
We'd
Kit
just like to
Cosmo's
clarify. Just like to clarify to our listeners out there, we are not racist.
evil
Let's go to
people.
the next question.
Okay, next
With,
question. Nick, Simon, and Belle Kirby ask, do you plan on abridging the final 5 episodes of Kirby, aka the movie?
Yes!
The motion picture.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Coming to direct to
What
VHS
the
release near you.
Yep. Or maybe we'll share the script with Jake and Denim so that they can...
But we're gonna have to eventually. 'cause
Maybe,
they have voices.
no.
Yay.
Maybe we'll invite them and so that they
You're
can
right.
help. Hey, by the time we get around to the movie,
No,
KA
silence.
will be almost done.
I would love to be in part of the movie.
You're really
You can be the carpet.
bad at remembering that we exist.
Remember, you exist.
They're trying to forget us because they know that we're ruining it. We're ruining it. We're totally messing this up. Shut up, you. We're messing us up, and they're trying to force us to not exist. You know, by ignoring our
How many
existence.
lines
But
in that one?
Well, actually, technically, Gangu has 2 lines if you count ow, ow.
Oh! Oh!
see, you got the lines right there. Admittedly, I did quite like the movie. I mean, of course, it needed polish here and there, but I quite liked it. It was good. It was a decent watch. I would like to voice over that. I mean, I would love to, throw some jokes to the Kirby Abridged crew and see if they can work them in, see if it's good or see if it's just terrible. But either way, I would like to give it a shot. I mean, whoever gave the voice of Chief Bookham in those, like, I think it's like episode 90 to 100, the voice of Chief Bookham changed,
They
and
didn't
that
care
really
anymore.
irritated me because it sounded
Yes.
nothing like the original character. I kind of wish I had a time
Sobered
machine
up
and I could do
Bookham.
the lines.
Yes, I know what you're referring to. They got the same guy who voices, do you guys remember a TV show on 4Kids called, Cubics?
Yes, I do remember
The
Cubics.
lead protagonist kid in that, they got him to gruff his voice down for Bookham in the later episode.
They got the kid from that to be him.
That explains so much.
That is terrible.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
He also voiced the little ninja from the Ninja episode, Ninja Binge.
That's where we'll use Denim's Mickey Mouse voice.
Mickey Mouse for Disney.
He's gonna voice Disney with his Mickey Mouse voice.
Yes, because
Spoiler! Spoilers!
yeah, if we ever get around to a tuned out. Anyways, next question is, Diamond Star, what would everyone's reaction be if a human came or crashed in Dreamland?
I think they shoot him.
It kind of breaks with the continuity of the show, so it's an invalid theory.
And also, just besides that, humans technically would be giants in Dreamland.
Dedede's only 4 feet.
Kirby's a 1.5 feet.
Seeing how the show is very selective with the game characters, there's no Adeline or any of those vaguely human characters from the Kirby games. I say if you don't see one in Kirby,
Assume
the show,
there are none.
Yeah, assume there are none in Kirby, so it's impossible. Anyways, Jake and Denim, your thoughts on this pressing and important matter?
So what would our reaction be, or our characters?
Okay, everyone's reaction if a human came or crashed into Dreamland.
That would be us.
I think, if anything, if everyone being characters or regardless, I think they'll just look at each other and think, who the hell is writing this terrible fanfic, sending themselves...
Who the hell is writing this fanfic?
They've got legs.
But,
Not kidding, they've got legs. Long legs.
Yeah, we'd be
And
including.
toes.
We would be including that video clip totally.
Next.
Okay, next question is Timothy Sykes asks, why does Dedede like peanut butter cookies so much? I hope he doesn't realize I ate them. What? You didn't eat my peanut butter cookies, did you? That's a pattern. Oh, everybody's getting a pattern today!
Okay, the
Oh,
reason he
shit.
likes peanut butter cookies, there's 2 reasons behind this. One, It's a little bit of the Southern stereotype of, you know, peanut butter cookies and watermelon, fried chicken.
We are insensitive, evil people, and we wanted to drive home DDD's stereotype, and that is a common stereotype of black Southerners, is that they love them some peanut butter cookies, just like what Mommy used to make.
What is the opinion of Jake and Denim on this pressing and important matter?
Serious mode.
Well, I've never tried them myself, but I don't know. I just think it's a goofy little recurring running joke that the show likes to include. It makes me giggle every time it talks about the peanut butter cookies. So,
Okay.
you know, that's my opinion. What about you?
Never had them myself, but I do love some damn cookies.
Yeah, Antonio Green asks, what's your favorite theme in Kirby Abridged episodes? Example, food themed. Well, isn't that an obvious thing to say?
That's a slim menu, buddy.
Yeah, let's see, we have food themed episodes.
And then everything else.
Yeah, everything else.
No, there's 3 actually. There's food-themed episodes, there's plot-driven episodes, and then there's the nonsense episodes.
In terms of favorite themes, it's difficult to say, to be honest. I think, I guess since just make a huge joke out of food theme episodes, I'm probably gonna have to go for those as well. I mean, well, like there's this one line from one of the episodes. I can't remember which one. Something like teaching kids about healthy eating. Right at the point where they're talking about, you know.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's an excuse to teach kids about MSG!
Yeah, that's from
That's
episode
the
8.
one. Yes.
Time to take dump, break economy.
I wrote that.
Yes.
Our favorite themes, well, my favorite themes are silly and food, and for the other 2 here, and
Plot episodes sometimes can almost be crazier than the food-themed episodes.
Monkey, got a favorite theme?
My name is Monkey now.
Go, monkey. Dance.
That's very good. I'd have to say the Sydney episodes are my favourite, to be honest with you.
my man.
I do look.
Silly humour.
I do like the silly ones myself, actually. I like goofy, surreal humour, but then again, I'm not you. So continue. I'll shut up.
All right.
Now you're just kissing up.
Okay, second last, that person asks, what do you like best and worst in Kirby Abridged? Well, for us, worst is the video editing, and the best is well, writing the episodes. It's always fun to make fun of the show, and it's also fun to see people's reactions. We like to get feedback on our work.
Yes.
It helps us to learn what people like and what people don't.
And let's face it, the gratification just helps stroke our egos.
Oh, yeah. What's the thoughts on our dear friends across the pond?
We think Kirby Abridged is absolutely 100% brilliant. It's wonderful. It's absolute. We're not selling this very well, are we? Yeah. The two things I dislike about Kirby Abridged.
You're gonna get inspired.
It's like you mentioned about the editing with the lip sync. So I've seen some Abridged series that kind of really put so much effort into the lip sync, and I'm so used to that.
We don't use Flash, we do it the hard way.
Yep. Au naturel.
Fair enough. It's a bit more lax, but I don't mind, but because if anything, I'd like an episode once a month rather than 6 months, except with the 6 monther you get the really good lip syncs, either way. And number 2, I'm not really a fan of drug jokes myself, which occasionally drop into the old script every now and again, so I'm not really a fan of those. But as for favourite, best things in Kirby Abridged I like, again, it's just going to have to be the writing. I mean, it's just when I read out the scripts, and I'm just, of course, giggling to myself, and then watch the episode through. Just absolutely great fun to listen to all the wacky, random, the satirical jokes, etc., that were thrown into the script. You can definitely tell that a lot of effort was put into it, really. So I definitely love listening back to the script.
What should I start with? The bad or the good? The good, the bad, and the silly. Okay. Well, bad is just more. Whenever we come into the booth, like I sort of get to a point where even though my character is just sort of an enthusiastic version of myself, we always seem to go off topic. And I seem to grate my own voice just for no apparent reason. And I don't know how, but I always go home with a sore throat at the end of the day. And
so you'd say the production side of Kirby Abridged, when we're goofing off, you losing your voice.
No, it's both good and bad. Because I mean, it's sort of a mix of. It's a lot of fun to produce the episodes and to do the voice and everything, but at the same time, I'll go into something that I know I can't do, or I'll be like we'll hear a voice, or I'll try doing like your voice or something like that, or I'll try a character out, and then all of a sudden like I go back and I'm just like.
Oh yeah, you're feeling hoarse when you go back. I think that's everything then. There's one other question, but it's not on my sheet here. It's on Jake's sheet. Jake, why don't you read off the last question that was suggested?
Okay,
I'll read it for him because it's addressed to Jake himself.
Alright, then I go.
Jake, when will you take the questions seriously?
That one was from my brother. I would just like to make this. So, Morgan, if you are listening, shut up! You don't understand me! Stop saying I don't take it seriously! Forget it! Forget it! Hi!
Okay, I think that concludes the Q&As for this date.
He's a nice guy. He's got some issues.
This means Denim replaces him. Welcome to the team, Denim.
Yay!
Denim the voice.
Yes. Well, I guess that concludes it then.
Either way, again, thank you all very much for your questions. We're going to compile an FAQ sooner or later for all of you.
Yes.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you for watching, and thank you, Dake and Jenham.
Thank you, Dake and Jenham, for joining us on the show today.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Well, Tara, very much. Alright.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.